Here's question pre-context.
Wait,
Should I just give the up?
She's a lesbian.
Yeah, obviously.
Girl, I got the scent. You got the butch scent. I'm kind of scared.
I'm a little scared of you too, but you sound
I know
fun.
she's got power tools that she could kill me with.
The other boss that I have is never there. He's always off to Germany or France. Nobody gives a So anyway, my piece of boss.
I thought Clarkson looked great with those titties.
Oh!
And we want to see Clarkson's tits. Let's
Stop encouraging him. Hey guys, welcome back to Normal Gaze, where we take on insanity. I'm Brad Polumbo here with Clarkson Lawson.
Guys? Make sure you subscribe.
We're going to be taking voicemails from you guys who asked for our advice. And if you want to send one in for the next time we do this, you can at the link in the description. Just any.
Sit like differently because my butt hurts.
Oh, from getting ran through?
That was crazy, but valid. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, you can work, life, romance, anything, politics for advice. Anything you want advice from two extremely abnormal normal gays. The link's in the description. Now let's listen to the first one, which is one of our normies here complaining about her boss. Let's see.
Hey guys, just right off the bat, want to say I love the channel. Really enjoy Brad and Clarkson. You guys playing off each other. Clarkson, you're a terrible influence on Brad, and I absolutely love it. Keep it up. But here's question pre-context.
Wait,
Should I just give the up?
She's a lesbian.
Yeah, obviously.
Girl, I got the scent. You got the butch scent.
And there's nothing wrong
There's
with
nothing
that.
wrong with it. I think you're kind of intimidating. I'm kind of scared.
I'm a little scared of you too, but you sound
I know
fun.
she's got power tools that she could kill me with.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. We love you, girl. Thank you for the compliment.
I'm on the complete opposite end of you guys. Normal lesbian, quotation marks around normal.
All right, that's
Can
kind
I
of funny.
say I'm a psychic?
Also, but the odds are on this channel. Actually, that's to be fair. There's a lot of straight women that watch us.
I
as
think
well.
that I actually am a psychic.
Okay. Oh my.
Did I tell you guys?
Psychotic. Yeah.
Did I tell you guys? Well, part of being a psychic is
Literally walked in today and said, "I think I'm in mania."
Well, did I tell you? You know how I found out my ex was cheating on me was through a dream, a lucid dream where I knew I was dreaming, and then I woke up and I followed the advice of whatever it was that was talking to me in that dream. And I found him cheating. I have a lot of weird dreams like that.
So women already in general are very, very left-leaning, not even trying to take into context women within the alphabet mafia. I'm much more.
Oh, I think they're out of order. This is not the one about the crazy boss.
That's okay.
They're not in order. I inserted them in, so it's something else.
More central right-leaning, similar to you, Brad. Do I even bother trying anymore? Because I swear, you don't have to absolutely align with me on everything. I would prefer we have some basic common ground, but most women in general are very, very liberal, and it's exhausting, bro. It's exhausting.
I'm so tired, child. I'm so tired. I'm really tired.
You guys got anything? I love to hear it. Meanwhile, keep up the great work.
I think that obviously you should not give up. I don't know. I think that this is a pessimistic mindset from a lot of people in the gay community, and I think it's overblown.
But it comes from experience.
It does.
But
It comes from experience.
Lesbians is worse.
Lesbians is worse. You're totally right.
To progressives.
That's
a lot
very
of them.
true.
So with gays, I agree that like at least now compared to 5 or 10 years ago, it was worse. Now gays are like a little more used to the idea that you might not be woke, and if you're hot enough, they're probably
gays
still...
don't really have like even the woke ones. You can get it out of them. They're not actually woke. Like they're not.
I mean, some of them
They
are.
pretend like they are, but then the minute you actually are like, come on, like you really think this, and they're like,
well, I care about, like, I have empathy.
and it's like, okay, so you don't think
You're literally
it.
just talking about.
I'm not talking. Stop that. He's gonna see this. I'm sure it's worse with women. I don't know.
I think it's worse with women. What I would say is maybe expand your pool and try to like meet someone online or meet someone like not just super local to you, because the bigger the pool is, the more likely it is that you'll find someone. But don't give up. Like you should be
I'm also
happy.
going to preach some individual responsibility here.
Okay.
Because not all woke people are intolerable. Some of them are, I would say, like some people on the left, if you are
Okay,
very
but
much
woke refers to a subset
Sure.
of that tends to be
okay,
insufferable.
but if you are very much like entrenched in political media, if your algorithms are all political, you can train your brain to find woke where it's not off of like small disagreements. And I'm saying this because I used to be a lot more right wing, but I think maybe start with yourself and if you want other people to have an open mind and have those discussions. And if they are intolerable, then sure. But I think some understanding from
Yeah.
both sides can
I agree.
actually
Another
facilitate a
thing you
healthy
can
relationship.
do that might work but also might not, but you could try it, is like put it in your dating profile that you are something other than liberal, like and like on what's it called?
Like a moderate.
Yeah.
I
And
have
then
moderate in mine.
that will sort itself out. That anybody who is like on Hinge, right?
But the
Anybody
thing
who's
is
so
like,
close-minded that they wouldn't want to date you because of it won't match with you in the first place.
yeah, you could put moderate in there. That would help. But like, don't put like your political beliefs in your bio or anything, because like I
Well, it
wouldn't even.
asks for that on Hinge.
No, I'm talking like on like Tinder or something.
Oh.
I don't know. Where do lesbians meet? Home Depot?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Actually, no. Home Depot is where gay guys go.
Is it?
Yeah, apparently there's like
Cruising?
It's
Okay.
like a spot where all of this go.
You would know from your
I don't
sniffies
go to. I don't need
experience.
to do that.
Really? Because you were very familiar with that
Okay,
app.
just like I DoorDash all my food, I DoorDash my men too. They
Mhm.
come to me. Anyways, we spend a lot of time on this one. We wish you the best of luck.
And guys, become a channel member.
Yeah.
Just say something to make them become a member. Do something to make them want to. Ew.
I don't know.
You'll unlock early. No, wait, that's the wrong channel. You will unlock weekly members only videos. Oh,
I'm normally the one that's unprepared.
I know, but we've been doing this for a while now,
Yeah.
and we have a while yet to go. So let's listen to our next voicemail.
Oh my god. Hi. So I want to tell you about my freak boss, who is a complete and
Here's the
utter
one I thought.
degenerate goblin.
Degenerate goblin is
So
crazy.
he has a history of like being a creep around the women in my workplace. Long story short, he likes to be disgusting.
Girl, I
There was
need you
one
to get to the
time where
point.
he, like brushed some other girl's hair and like touched her shoulder at this
Joe
dinner
Biden.
thing that we had all together, and everybody saw it, and nothing was done because nobody cares, because the company that I work for is kind of shitty. Not to mention the other boss that I have is never there. He's always off to Germany or France. Nobody gives a so anyway, my piece of boss has an issue with me getting up every 60 to 90 minutes to stretch my legs and walk around, because he has an issue with me existing, I guess, because he's such a goblin and he hates women. So I'm wondering what you think. Maybe you think it's really funny. Maybe you think I should sit my ass down and get back to work, bitch. So,
Oh, like the Kim Kardashian meme.
anyway, I love your show. Thank you so much.
I think it depends on how long your walks are. 5 minutes is, I think,
Yeah, but it's fine
in
to
a
get
corporate environment, I think it's good that you're actually, there's studies to prove that getting up once an hour
Makes you
makes
more
you more productive. So if I were you,
I just probably find another job.
Challenge. Get a job. Do that challenge.
I think really I guess, to be honest, I've never, I can't say I've never had a boss. I did the first couple of years, but then I've been working for myself. So I don't have a ton of insight into the normal 9 to 5.
job market is really bad right now.
That's true. But what I'm saying is, I think when you have an entrenched bad boss, it's very difficult to dislodge them.
Yeah.
And to like get them removed or fired or anything. Like you're the most realistic path is to find a new position often,
Sure.
or transfer within your company or something.
I want to know about the hair brushing.
Yeah, that's weird.
Why
But
was he just brushed your hair like out of nowhere? Like he just grabbed a brush, or he used his fingers, or what?
I don't know. That is weird.
Is that honestly, that gives gay. Like, bitch, your hair's a mess.
But it sounds like
that sounds like something I do.
No, but she's making it sound like he's a creep.
No, yeah, he sounds like a creep. I wonder why he doesn't like. Is she lesbian?
Maybe.
If
There's a good
she's
chance.
lesbian, that's probably why it's probably not because you're a woman. It's probably because you're a woman that's not available to him. A lot of straight men like lesbians in theory, but then when they meet them, they get annoyed.
Well, they only like them on certain websites.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which, to be fair, I don't like them in any context, so...
I'll be nice to the lesbians today.
Why do you have sunglasses on?
Because I told you I was feeling manic.
Okay.
I can do whatever I want.
Is that what your doctor tells you to do in that scenario?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Buy a car tonight or something on Carvana and get it delivered.
That's a terrible idea.
Ford Bronco, that's what I want.
That's expensive.
It's like, you can get a used one for like 30.
But, you don't need that just to take TikTok videos in.
The lighting is so good.
For the YouTube video you do every 3 months?
Yes. And it's all a text write-off.
I
would solely be using it for work.
That's what stupid idiot bitches say when they want to waste money. They go, it's a tax write-off.
Stupid idiot bitch is actually, I think he went too far on that one.
I'm sorry.
Bitch. Twat. Bitch.
You were someone a 5 seconds ago.
Because she is a
Okay.
It's called normal gaze. We use that word.
Wait, so is fine, but stupid idiot bitch is too far.
Yes, because it was directed at me.
Okay, but not literally. I'm just saying, I'm sorry.
I don't really give a I'm just being dramatic.
Why don't we listen to our next voicemail?
I don't really have anything to say.
I don't need you or your
ask
brand
questions,
new
but I
bitch.
do
Sorry.
love you guys so much. But I did have a question for Clarkson. I was wondering, like, if Clarkson still has views, like, from his, like, conservative ways that line in with today. Like, I know he's not a conservative anymore, but I was just wondering if he had any views that he used to have that he still has today.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of my views changed. Like, not a lot. I think they've just expanded, like, particularly with, like, welfare and things like that. I used to be very much, like, against any form of the federal government intervening in individuals' lives and helping them out because I just thought that the government does everything terribly. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
What?
I mean, my views, I feel like I show a lot of conservative views on this channel, like, specifically...
I mean, non-binary not being real.
Non-binary not being real, but that's just like culture war stuff. I'd say like I don't believe in cutting taxes anymore because we have such a high deficit. I think it's in our best interests to not cut taxes, but cut spending. It's things like that. In theory, I still believe in having low taxes from the federal government, but in circumstance, I don't think that's like a good thing for us to do right now. So I think that my views have just gotten a little bit more complex.
I think a lot of what changed, though, is just your views on partisan politics, which doesn't neatly map on to conservative and liberal in ideology anymore.
Sure.
Like you just soured on Trump and the MAGA Republican
I would say that
movement.
I'm a pragmatic liberal that's open to finding realistic solutions that
I mean, I think a
compromise.
lot of your views are still more or less right of center.
Yeah.
But also it depends, what does that even mean? Like you're a free speech supporter. Is that a right of center view? I mean, a few years ago...
I think it's both because liberals believe in free speech, leftists don't.
Theoretically, they do, but in recent history, they don't. But then also you could say that with the
MAGA.
I
was just about to say it's the same thing with Trump. So like...
So it just gets complicated.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, what other things are there? Like economic policies?
I feel like you are not like leftist on border and immigration.
No.
And also your takes on Islam?
My takes, yeah, like the cultural issues I'm still right-wing on, I would say, because I don't believe in like being so empathetic that you become naive.
I think you're like your individual responsibility instead of entitlement and victimhood is central to your perspective on the world. And that is, whether we like it or not, like a right-wing coded perspective.
Sure, but I don't let that cloud me from seeing actual data. So like just because I believe you should be providing for yourself and making a living doesn't mean that I don't believe in having food stamps given to people.
Sure, but you apply it to individual scenarios,
sure,
like
it's
chin hair and...
Yeah, like I can make my opinion on someone is like, you're kind of a piece of shit, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that translates to government policy. If like they're a victim acting person, I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, anyways. So I guess I didn't answer.
Hi, guys.
That's okay.
Whatever.
Guys, hope you guys are doing great today. All that I really wanted to say is that I thought Clarkson looked great with those titties.
Oh!
And, you know, Kristi Noem's husband is not the first man to wear giant tits. And whoever the other YouTuber that wore giant tits
Tim Dillon
in his stream was not the second to do it. So why can't Clarkson wear tits? We want to see Clarkson's tits. Let the
Stop
fans see
encouraging
Clarkson's
him.
tits. Amen.
Amen. You know what? We want to see Clarkson's tits. Amen.
Stop, you guys. He's already so narcissistic. Y'all are just gassing
So
him
I just want to
up.
say, like, I want to thank you for sending this message in.
No.
I appreciate it so much. I don't know if you have an extra few bucks around, but if you really want to see my tits, you can find me on OnlyFans.
Oh my God.
But if you don't, I occasionally post my tits on my Instagram. I do it and my Twitter. So if you want to see them there, then actually, if they buy me fake tits, I'll wear them. It's just they're $100.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
That's the only reason I didn't do it. It wasn't worth it because we only make what? Like, how much from a video?
I don't know. Like a well-performing video will be like $200.
It probably would have performed better if I wore tits too.
We could have put that in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Maybe I'll do it again.
All right.
Hi, Brad and Clarkson. I'm looking for some dating advice. So I'm a 24-year-old living in Hawaii, and I was on a trip to Vegas a few months ago. And I met this really nice guy, and we hung out the whole week. I even extended my stay to stay with him a little bit longer.
That's what you would do.
Of
Ever since
course.
I've been back, we've been texting and calling every day. And I'm just wondering, like, is it worth it to try to do long distance? He is trying to start his career as a performer, and that's probably going to be in Vegas. And I'm a PhD student out here in Hawaii, so I'm not leaving here anytime soon. But I've tried dating out here, and it's just like literally horrible. Like every guy is just an ass, and it's a small island, so like everyone's been with each other, and it's just not a good vibe. So I'm kind of done with the dating scene here. So, and I really like this guy, and like I do long distance. It's a tough question. I don't know if you guys can help me with it, but appreciate everything you guys do. Thanks.
I'm a yes.
I think the most meaningful thing for human beings in life is relationships. So if you find someone that is worthy of pursuing, you make that work. Designers, make it work.
And you prioritize it, and
you might have to go to a different school.
Or when you graduate, you maybe look for a job in Vegas one day,
wherever
but
it
if
might
you have
be.
to do long distance for a couple of years, it is, especially for gay people, where obviously there's a smaller pool, but really for anyone, it is so hard to find someone who you're compatible with, and that is such a key aspect of life and so important. I really think it should be prioritized almost over anything else. Obviously, distance is not easy, but I also
No, it's not at all. See, I was actually in a situation like this about a month ago. There's this really, really like great guy who lives in LA, but like he's not moving anytime soon. I'm not moving anytime soon, and I'm kind of contradicting myself here because that stopped me from pursuing it.
But you're very high need.
Yeah, and also, yeah. So that's, I don't know. I mean, I get why you wouldn't want if like the cards are just not aligning. But the thing is I don't even know if I actually am in the place for a relationship, and I wouldn't want to sour the opportunity with a really good guy by doing it long distance and f***ing it up. I don't know. So I mean,
I think try it.
It really just depends on the circumstance. But I think that in the grand scheme of life, like you don't want him to be the one that got away. Katy Perry. You should listen to that song. If it doesn't work out, it'll make you feel good. Well, it'll make you sad.
Wouldn't that make it feel worse?
Yeah, but sometimes it's good to purge. So.
Okay. All right. Up next.
Hi, Clarkson and Brad. My name is Habiba, and I'm a proud normie. I am an artist.
That's mommy.
I illustrate and do graphic design, and I animate and do music. And the advice I want from you is kind of how to get into the creative field that you're in. I mean, you guys produce your own content, and you seem really successful.
Is that what we're calling it? What you produce? Content?
Why are you... He just paused this to come for my neck. Like, bitch, it's giving jealous.
Successful at it. You've like escaped the rat race, really. Feel like I'm just kind of stuck living this 9-to-5 basic life, and it's not really meant for me, and I want to do more, and I want to inspire people like you do, and it's really hard starting out.
I don't think we inspire people.
At the very beginning of it, you don't really have many people to turn to or many connections, and I just want to know how do I get to the point where you're at, or what advice do you have for me to kind of break out into content creation? Thank you so much. I love you guys. You're amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. Bye.
So you want to be famous like me, is what you're saying?
Y'all, you need to be careful with your voice notes that you're sending in, that you're not gassing him up. His head is already big enough.
Anything in life that you start out, I already gave this advice to them. You're going to start out as a failure, everything, or as a beginner, or you're going to look like you're not doing it right. You just have to rip the Band-Aid off and be consistent and do it.
Oh, my first few YouTube videos were so bad.
Yeah. But also I will say, like, you have to have a realistic perspective of yourself to understand how you're being perceived. A lot of people make content, but the content is just really bad. It kind of goes to like the star power thing where like some people just have it and some people don't. I don't think that's true. I think it can be learned. It's a skill that can be learned, but it comes naturally to others. So if your content, like when you're making it, you need to be very conscious of how you're being perceived, because like it or not, like the content might just not be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're making content for years on end and it's not getting any traction, like
stop.
It's not good. Revisit. I'm not saying stop. Like if it's your dream, go after it. But like you're probably the problem. And a lot of creators think, or just creative people,
I'm shadow banned.
They think they're shadow banned,
sometimes,
or they just think that their creativity deserves to be applauded in mass. But the thing is like creativity that is taken in by the masses is not the best creativity. It's the most palatable. And there's a very big difference between a creative artist who is a great artist, but people may not may not like it, versus an artist who can make art that appeals to everybody at TJ Maxx. So it's like you get very confused in being in mass appeal and garnering followers versus actually following your creativity. And you have to find a balance between those two things.
The other thing I would say is try to think about what you could offer that's different or unique in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Try to find some niche that you could maybe be involved with, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you need a niche at first. You do.
And then you can branch out from a niche, obviously. And then I would say, like, pick one platform. Like, say, you know what? I'm going to start just making TikToks about Love Island or whatever it is. Don't quit your day job. Come up with a realistic schedule that you could do. And then what I always tell people to do is to commit ahead of time to a certain period of time. Like I'm going to, like on YouTube, I'm going to post twice a week for 6 months and then reevaluate. Because what people, and see if it's working, see if it's not, then change. Because what a lot of people do is say, I want to try it. And then they just do 1 or 2 videos. It doesn't do well and they give up. And they don't know that if they had kept going, it would have eventually succeeded. Or the flip side is they just keep doing it and waiting for it to work and waiting and waiting and waiting endlessly. And it doesn't. And they're investing time into the wrong avenue in their life to be successful. So I think you should set a defined period with reasonable goals that aren't going to be huge, but aren't going to be like tiny in terms of the content you're creating, and then start doing it on the side. And then if it's going to succeed, eventually you can pivot, but don't like quit your day job.
And think about the viewer. This isn't about your creativity. This is about their experience.
Yeah. Think about something you can offer that other people want.
Yeah.
Rather than what you want to do, those are not
those
the
things,
same thing.
They can be aligned, but
they're often
very rarely they're not. Yeah. Like I don't want to talk about politics, and I battle with it every day, but that's what people follow me for.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Next note.
Hey guys, love you both. Really hope I get picked. I'm a pick me. I'll own it.
She took the words out of my mouth.
So in all of my relationships, I'll be honest, it has started with me kind of initiating, or at least just being super upfront. Like, like I've like given my number. I'll say like, I'm into you, or like whatever it is. But I'm 35 and single still, and I'm kind of wondering if that's maybe not the best approach, considering I'm single and have been for a while. So I'd love to know how you guys feel about like making the first move. Who should do it? Do gender roles come into play? Do either of you like to be the one to pursue or be pursued?
Girl.
Yeah, curious about that dynamic. Okay.
Girl.
Thank you. Love you.
I love you too, but let me just tell you, the problem is right here, and you are looking like this. because the problem is not whether or not you allow men to approach you. The problem is probably you.
Explain.
Like
mean?
if you're having a lot of trouble finding a relationship and it's just not working out with all of these different types of men.
You're probably initiating with the wrong men.
No, it's not even initiating. It's like these men probably meet you and then there's something that you're doing that is off that you haven't self-reflected on, but instead you want to go to the effort of least resistance and say, well, maybe I shouldn't actually put any effort and I shouldn't approach. No, because the thing is a lot of women approach men and it works.
Yeah, because men
like to be approached, especially nowadays.
Especially now in the climate.
Well, is this a lesbian? Did she say men?
I assume men because she asked about gender roles.
Oh.
I assume that she's dating men. Yeah. So let's just operate on that basis. And
Yeah.
If not, then forget what we said. But
we couldn't give you any advice on lesbian stuff either. So
absolutely not. And we don't want to know about it.
Oh.
We don't want to hear about it. We don't want to think about it. Keep it
oh.
nasty.
I mean, yeah, but my mind
Guys,
likes to explore.
Just joking, please.
I like to think about
I
things.
could get clipped out of context so bad on this podcast.
You could?
Yeah, you. So I think it's not. I don't think the problem is that you're putting yourself out there first. I think especially many heterosexual men now, I've like made it feel like they can't just hit on women, right? And so if you at least open the door to it, and they're also dumb. So like if you just sometimes women will be like, I feel like I made it so clear that I was interested in him and he didn't get it, and he has no idea. So I think there's nothing wrong with initiating a little bit and then let him take it.
Can I just cut this shit off? Because you know what? I got to see what you look like. I'm sorry. Because here's the thing. A beautiful woman approaching a man or a woman that's like drop dead approaching a man, that wouldn't be a problem. So if you are an 8, let's say you're an 8, or you're a 7, okay? And you're approaching men, nothing wrong. Most of us are 7s. And you're approaching men, there's something else that's off.
7.
What?
You're not a 7.
I think I am.
You're a 6.
Oh, you
I'm
bitch.
just kidding.
But no, the thing is like it's not just about like whether or not you might be very beautiful, but you also could be going for men that are getting women that are prettier than you. I'm sorry. I just got to be truthful. You could be going after men that are way prettier than you.
But it's just not realistic.
It's not realistic. It's not just about looks. It's about your expectations, and they might not be balanced. Like
what's your height filter at?
Right. So like when I have a few friends that are like similar to your age and they're single, and I've had to have this conversation with them because they're really into these like top tier men who have women that can literally, they're like gay men. They can get women delivered to their door. And it's like
it
those
might
types
be time
of
to settle for the nice guy.
Correct. So you have 2 options. There's always a way out. Okay. Ugly is not permanent. I'm living proof. You can get plastic surgery and try to go after those men. That's what I did. I always had very high standards, but I couldn't get the men. So I got really buff. And yeah. But anyways, so what I'm saying is that you need to be honest about your standards, not standards like don't let a man cheat on you. That's different. And make sure you're going for men that are in your looks bracket per se. Yeah.
Okay, clavicular.
Is that a thing? Oh, I was thinking of tax bracket, but with looks. But because I've seen that be a problem with a lot of people. And it's not just women, it's men too. Like a lot of men are single because they think they can get these like hot ass women. And it's like, you can't.
Yeah.
So everything is competition. And unfortunately, that's the reality of the dating market. So if you want to succeed, like any business or any competitive environment, you have to be brutally honest with yourself in order to get better, or you have to lower your standards a bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you initiating things is the problem. And I also don't think I'll just stop initiating and wait for someone to come to me is a viable strategy at 35 years old.
And I hate that I don't like talking about women's looks like that unless they're like body positive activists. But
then it's fine.
Then it's fine because she sounds so sweet and that's probably going to hurt her feelings, but it's
Maybe
the truth.
Hot.
She probably is very pretty, but that there's always somebody better looking. And if your standards are up here, and even if you're a 9 and you're going after 10s, there could be an imbalance that's causing the problem. So you just look at yourself and figure out if your standards are aligned.
And give a nice mid-man a chance. That's my other take.
Yeah. I think that's, well, no, I don't agree with that because the mid-men still cheat on you and then you got cheated on by an uggo.
No. Why were they're not any more or less likely to cheat on you? A mid guy? Why?
Well, if you lower your standards so much that it's unequal
You
again.
just said lower your standards.
Yeah, lower so it's equal, not low. Don't do the
It
opposite.
can be a little bit lower.
Maybe a little, but
Find
I
a
don't
nice
know.
guy with the
I'm
job
all about
who's going to treat you
balance.
good, and it doesn't matter if he's not the best looker.
We just gave some terrible advice.
Yeah, who the are we to give
This
advice?
is probably
We are better than that Jake guy though. Last one. Last voice note.
okay.
If you guys want to send one in, go ahead and do it. We'll probably do this again, so the link will be in the description.
Hi guys, I adore the both of you so much. I look forward to your videos every single week. I guess I kind of just wanted to ask how to find my political ideologies or just opinions outside of biased opinions. I think it's really hard because there's pressure on both sides to decide right now in this very given moment. I would argue that I'm centered, like right-leaning. My fiance is pretty far right, so we differ a lot in ideologies. However, I feel like the right is like just very MAGA right now, which I totally disagree with. The left is like just insane and holding like strict to like gender ideologies and trans ideologies. And I guess it's just like hard for me to find a position that I'm really comfortable with. And I just don't want to be like easily influenced by either group. So any advice is appreciated. Once again, I love you both so much. Thank you.
So I have some questions about the far right boyfriend.
He's definitely watches Nick Fuentes.
If he does, then you need to run.
You need to run.
If what you mean by that is he's just like a Trump supporter, Republican, has right-wing beliefs, then he might be a great guy.
Yeah.
And he might be a great boyfriend and potentially husband. If he's a groiper, you need to
need to get the hell out.
You need to pack your bags. You need to leave unannounced
and become a lesbian
in the middle of the night, because that man is scary.
Yeah,
and dangerous. Like these,
or he's chronically online and is a low value man who gets his opinions from a 4-year-old little virgin boy. Like no,
repressive bottom.
Yeah, well, no.
But let's assume that's not the case,
yeah.
And that you just
ending marriages.
Let's assume he's just like a normal right-wing guy, and that's fine. To her actual question, I would say one, unless you are going to be some sort of political career person, you actually don't need to figure out a political ideology that you adhere strictly to. It's okay to not, actually, as a normal 25-year-old, whatever.
Because social media makes it seem like you have to pick a side.
You really don't, if you're not involved in this. And you have to pick someone to vote for every election.
Yeah.
But you don't have to pick a label and perfectly adhere to it ideologically. And so I would say consume both. Then make up your mind on any given issue, what you think or don't, and just keep an open mind. There's no pressure really because there's no test.
But if you're worried about being manipulated in general, I think, and this isn't just with politics, you have to be very self-reflective and understand where your biases come from and what they lean you towards. Like when I was very conservative, it's because I have like a strong aversion to disorder and, like
base.
And I'm very, very like prone to individuality, like those types of narratives that are associated with anything. But those biases dictated my political beliefs, which is why I got manipulated a lot on a lot of issues, because I automatically took the side that my biases leaned me towards because I didn't do as much due diligence when researching my opinions on it. So I think if you're very conscious of yourself, it'll be a long experience, but you'll be able to see your own behavior and how your biases influence it, and then you'll be able to see when you're being manipulated or potentially misled, not just in politics, but in anything.
Hope that helps. All right, guys, thank you all so much for sending in your voicemails. If anybody is interested in, check in the link in the description, and that'll be it for this episode of Normal Gays. We'll be back with more real soon.